there, welcome to this practice. This particular practice deals with our breath and the connection with our breath to the movement or the motion of the postures. So when we put these two together, we combine into this yoga style called Vinyasa style yoga. So that's going to be where we're going today. If you would like to grab a block and have that handy, you can bring it on with you down to our mats, onto our backs, where we're going to start. Finding this comfortable reclined position, knees bent or legs long. And we're going to start here as usual with a connection to our breath here. So I'm going to offer that you actually bring your hands onto your body here, maybe one hand on the lower belly, maybe another on the upper chest or on the rib cage. And this particular breathing practice that we're going to go through today is our three-part breath. So the upper chest, which is the area that we're most all familiar with because we normally sit and just breathe in this upper chest. And then the second part of the three-part breath is our rib cage. And then the third part of our three-part breath is this lower belly. So we're combining them together into this nice long oval shape with smooth edges to our breath. So let's just start here with this upper chest, and again, probably the area you're most familiar with breathing. So you can just maybe place your hand there and feel your hand, feel the breath, maybe notice your lungs, heartbeat. And we're breathing in and out through our nose. And then bring your attention down a little bit lower into that rib cage. So here you might feel kind of even your ribs kind of opening and closing with your breath. And it might feel a little bit more forced to bring your breath down into this belly area. It is called a practice for a reason, so these kinds of things, whether it be your physical practice of the posture or the breath, it is something that we can continue to practice to get better at and more mindful of. And then the third part is this lower belly. So here you might visualize a balloon inflating and deflating. So this part here might feel even more forced because you're maybe not very familiar with breathing in this area. And again, that's perfectly normal. And through time, when you learn to extend the breath down into this lower belly, you'll find it a little bit more easy. You'll find more ease with it as well. So this is something that you can practice when you're standing in the line up at the grocery store, just breathing into that lower belly. And then combining the three areas together. So inhaling from that lower belly, rib cage, upper chest. Exhaling, upper chest, rib cage, lower belly. So just keep doing that, being mindful of this flow of breath. Maybe even comparing it to a river or a stream. So that water, that breath is just flowing up and down. Breathing in and out through the nose. So we want to keep this connection, and this helps keep our mind in this present moment by then adding on the movement. So let's come into a good morning stretch here. So we'll draw our legs together, knees are straight, legs long, point the toes. Use your breath to bring your arms up overhead. Keep breathing in and out through your nose from that lower belly, rib cage, upper chest, and back down again. So when we add movement, we move on the exhales. So your next breath in. On your exhale, bend the knees and bring the soles of your feet to the mat. From here, we're going to do a little flowing bridge move. So again, just add a little bit of movement, adding to the breath. Next breath in, press into your feet. And as you exhale, lift up those hips, coming more into the tops of your shoulders, more into the back of the head. And we'll just hold it here so we can just feel that breath again. Feel where you might feel the posture itself in your body. Take another breath in. On your exhale, we move and lower the hips and the arms down to the sides. We'll do 3 more of those. So inhale, exhale, press into the feet and lift up your hips. Arms go up overhead. Breathing in. And on your exhale, moving your hips and your arms down to the mat. 2 more times. Inhale, press into the feet. On your exhale, you're lifting your hips and your arms up overhead. Breathing in and out. We're moving again, drawing our body down to the mat. Our last round here as we inhale. Exhale, make your move with your body, that connection with your breath. Long breath out as we lower our bodies down to the mat. Let's lift up the feet, wrap the arms around the shins, and you can roll here from side to side, just giving your back a little bit of love. And again, we have a little bit of movement here, so keep breathing in and out through your nose. All right, from here, we're going to roll up to a seated position. So come to the center here. A couple of ways you can come rolling up. You can just roll over to your side and push yourself up onto your bum, or we can add a little bit of motion in here again. So you can just kind of tuck your fingers in behind your knees and then just use your ab strength and your back strength just to take a couple of spinal rolls up and down your mat, breathing as you do that. And then we'll meet here on our butts and come into a cross-legged position. From here, we're going to again connect with our breath and move as we do some side bends and some twists. So we'll start first with our side bends. Right hand by the right hip and inhaling that left arm up and exhaling here for your side bend. So we're just going to pause here so I can talk and discuss what's going on here. So your right hand can stay by the hip, or you can slide it out a little bit further if you want to get a little bit deeper into this left hip or the left side body. So really a personal choice. Take another breath in. Exhale again. We're making our move left side, left hand plants, and we're bringing that right arm up and over. And we'll just pause here to discuss what's going on. We want to keep pressing that right hip down so you can get into the hip flexors and create space through the ribs. We'll take 2 more rounds, but we'll move a little bit quicker with our breath. So take a breath in. On your exhale, make your move, side bend to your right side, planting that right hand. End of your breath, you'll inhale. Exhale, side bend to your left side. So flowing with your breath to the opposite side. Breathing in. Exhale, make your move for your side bend to the right. End your breath. Inhaling, exhale, side bend to your left. Let's come back to neutral and we'll do some twists next. So again, right hand, right hip, left hand onto that right knee. And similar to our 3-part breath, this is a 3-part twist. So the twist starts at that lower belly, it comes through that rib cage, and then the last part of the twist is this upper chest and through the shoulders. There's no need to look over that right shoulder to add any more torque to the neck. You can just simply look over your chest. Your next breath in. On your exhale, make your move. We're twisting to that left side. The other thing that we want to do with this twist is press into that hand that's on the mat so that you can lift up through the whole length of your spine, so you're twisting the full length of your spine. So again, 2 more rounds moving with our breath. So take a breath in. On your exhale, turn and twist to your right. End of your breath, you'll inhale. Exhale, turn and twist to your left. Breathe in and out, twist to the right. Breathe in and out, twist to your left. Let's come back to center and then unwind these legs and make our way into tabletop. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. And our most common breath that we use here is for our cat-cow move. So on your breath in, we're going to drop that belly, and on your exhale, peel open the chest and lift your heart for your cow. Inhaling. Exhale, round the back, chin to your chest for your angry cat. Inhale. Exhale, drop that belly, lift the gaze, open your heart for your cow. Breathe in and out, round the back, chin to the chest for your cat. We'll do that 2 more times. So inhale for your cow belly, opening your heart. Exhaling for your cat, changing that spine, flowing with your breath. Last round as we inhale for cow and exhale here for cat. Let's meet in a neutral spine, and from here we'll flow with our thread the needle posture. So starting on the right side, we're going to do 3 rounds in total, and on that 3rd round we're going to hold the pose. So inhale that right arm up, you're turning and twisting through that lower belly. On your exhale, you're threading the needle, and you're just going to tap your shoulder on the mat, maybe even tap your ear. End of your breath. Inhale, turn and open to that long edge of your mat again. On your exhale, you're moving, threading your needle, lowering that shoulder down to the mat. Inhale again at the end of your breath to turn and open up your heart. And this time on our exhale, we're going to hold that shoulder down to the mat so we can get that stretch. So lowering your ear, your cheek, your jaw. That left hand can stay planted, or you can tuck it into that right hip crease. And then get this nice stretch through the shoulder. This is also, again, like a 3-part twist. So we're twisting through that lower belly, twisting through the ribs, and lastly, the shoulders. This is also an inversion. Our hearts are higher than our heads. So just take a couple more breaths here, connecting with that breath, being mindful of that lower belly twist, where that breath in the lower belly might feel a little pinched off. And your next breath in, let's plant that left hand and push ourselves up into tabletop. Same thing on the left side. Inhale, peel open that left shoulder, open your heart. On your breath out, we're tapping that shoulder as we thread the needle. Breathe in and out as we turn and open up our hearts. Inhale. Exhale, round number 2. Thread your needle, tap that shoulder. End of your breath. You'll inhale and turn and open up. Breathe in. Exhale, hold that shoulder down to the mat for this 3rd round, lowering your cheek, your ear, your jaw. Right hand can stay planted or tuck it into that left hip crease. Pressing that shoulder down to the mat, and then draw your attention to your breath. Again, it might feel a little pinched off in that lower belly, through that lower belly twist. And again, through the rib cage, that upper chest, pressing that shoulder down to the mat. Also this inversion. And your next breath in, let's plant that right hand on the mat and push ourselves up here into tabletop. From here, we'll take a child's pose. So sit bones to the heels. Arms can stay overhead with the knees separated, or you can make a little pillow underneath your forehead to protect your neck. We don't want to add any stress onto the neck. There's lots of little bones and muscles there. Or you can grab your block to slide in underneath your forehead. Sit bones to the heels, and as much as possible that they can touch. And then bringing your attention to the back side of your heart and to your breath again. So anytime in our practice where that breath starts to feel choppy, so again, noticing that smooth edges to your breath, then you want to come into a child's pose to kind of smooth everything out. So I might be cueing, a down dog or some type of back bend or something, but if you're just feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm so out of breath, then always feeling free to do what your body needs and coming into a resting pose. All right, let's come out of our child's pose and then just roll onto the soles of your feet at the back of your mat. Here you can grab your elbows in front or behind your legs. Turn that gaze behind or between your legs, I should say. Crown of the head's coming down to the mat. And then from here you can just kind of sway back and forth. So use your breath in and out. You can feel that belly breath on your thighs. Keep breathing. This is an inversion again. Just getting things running in a different direction. Keeping connected with that breath as we make these slight little moves. All right, come to center. Bring your hands to your feet. And then like a rag doll, just make your way on up to standing. Pausing at the top here to allow that blood to come back to your heart. You can adjust your costume. And then we'll make our way to the top of our mat to meet in mountain pose with our feet hip distance apart. Lifting up the toes, bringing them back down again. Shoulders back down and away. And if you're able, maybe close your eyes here so you can really connect with that breath and really connect with the foundation, your steadiness through your feet. If you're too wobbly, then of course keeping your eyes open. So we're going to do 2 rounds of sun salutations. So this is probably the most common sequence in a yoga practice where you're really connecting with your breath. And it's meant to be meditative in nature, so you really want to stay focused on those inhales and exhales. And again, I encourage you, if you get winded throughout the sequence, then you just make your way into a child's pose. Let's bring a little micro bend to the knees. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Bending into the knees, gaze back between the legs. Inhale here for a half lift, so you just bring your hands into your shins. Nice long flat back, shoulders away from the ears. Breathe in. On your exhale, come back into your forward fold. Bending into the knees, you'll inhale. Exhale, reverse swan dive, so arms out to the sides. Come to standing, palms touch overhead. And here we can breathe in and out for an optional back bend. So you're just pushing your thighs forward, lifting your gaze. Take a breath in. Exhale to hinge and fold to come into your forward fold. Gaze back between the legs. Take a breath in for that long flat back. And exhale to fold. Bending into the knees. We'll flow with our breath to come back to standing. Palms touch overhead. Option for that back bend, and we'll keep moving as we exhale, forward fold. Inhale here for that half lift. Exhale to fold. Plant those hands, step back with the right foot, step back with the left foot, and lift those hips to come into a down dog. So you're pushing your hands away, engaging the shoulders, lifting those hips. Take another breath in. On your exhale, you're going to hinge forward to come into a plank pose. Trying to bring your shoulders over your wrists and then lower those knees. Want to hug these elbows in nice and close to your body and lower your chest on your exhale. Options for some back bends here. So breathe in for bent elbows, a little baby cobra, or a full cobra with your elbows straight. Breathing out. Breathing in again, and exhale to lower your chest. Tuck the toes, Press into your hands as you inhale to come up onto your knees and exhale to come back into your down dog. So I did a lot of talking there, so it probably wasn't very meditative. So inhale to your tippy toes, exhale, big deep bend to the knees, look forward and walk or step your feet to the top of your mat, forward fold, feet hip distance apart. Take a breath in, exhale, come into your half lift, that long flat back. Breathe in and out to fold. Bending into the knees, you'll inhale, exhale for standing. So we'll do the left leg now, and I'll still continue to talk as we exhale to hinge and fold, with the last 2 rounds maybe being a less talking. So breathe in here for your half lift, exhaling to fold, plant those hands, step back with that left foot, step back with that right foot, and lift your hips for your down dog. Again, you can walk your heels here, pressing those hands away. Take a breath in, exhale, hinge to come forward into plank. Breathe in and out to lower the knees. Inhale, exhale, lower your chest. Breathe in and out for this back bend, either elbows bent or elbows straight. Exhale to lower your chest. Inhale, exhale onto your knees and lift those hips for your down dog. So this is 1 complete round here, so we'll do that 1 more time, stepping back with the right foot and then stepping back with the left. Inhale to your toes, exhale, big deep bend, look forward, walk or step your feet to the top of your mat for your forward fold. Gaze back between the legs. Breathe in and out for your half lift. Breathe in and out for your forward fold. Inhale, bending into the knees. Exhale, reverse swan dive to standing. Option for the back bend as we continue to move with our breath. Exhale to hinge and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Plant those hands. Step back with that right foot. Step back with the left foot. Lift those hips. Down dog. Breathing in and out for plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower the knees and lower that chest down to the mat. Inhale. Exhale for your back bend. Inhale. Exhale to lower your chest. Tuck those toes as you breathe in, and on your exhale, make your way up and into your down dog. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, big deep bend to the knees. Look forward. Walk or step your feet. Top of your mat for your forward fold. Inhale. Exhale here for your half lift. Breathe in and out to fold. Bending into the knees. Reverse swan dive up to standing, and our final side here, our left side. Keep moving here as you inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale for that half lift. Exhale to fold. Plant those hands, step back with the left foot, step back with the right foot, and come into your down dog, making your adjustments here. Breathing in and out for plank. Inhale, exhale, lower the knees, hug the elbows, and lower your chest. Breathe in and out for your back bend. Breathe in and out to lower. Press into the hands, tuck those toes, make your way onto your knees, and exhale here for your down dog. Walking those heels. Inhaling to the tippy toes. Exhale, big deep bend to the knees. Look forward and walk or step your feet. Top of your mat for your forward fold. Gaze back between the legs. Breathe in to come into your half lift. Exhale, long breath out to fold. Bending into those knees. We'll inhale. Exhale to come to standing. Palms touch overhead. Option for that back bend. And then we'll complete the sequence here by meeting in a neutral spine. Press those palms together and exhale your hands down through your heart center, releasing them to your sides. Take a couple of little hip swiggles here. Adjust your costume. And then connect with your breath here. So we'll meet here just in mountain pose, middle of our mats facing the long edge. And just taking a little breather here, checking in on that breath. Does your breath feel choppy? Have you lost the smooth edges of it? So just take a pause here, taking some long breaths in and out through your nose. Just trying to smooth everything out. Feeling free to come into that child's pose if that suits your body better than standing here and connecting. From here, we're going to do another flow, a very common one again called Dancing Warrior. So we'll do 2 rounds of that, and then we'll come back into a child's pose. So from here, to get into a Warrior 2 to get started, we're going to step our feet wide, and then pivot on the left toes first, bending into that left knee. I like to cue this way to getting into Warrior 2 because it's easier, because you almost always line up with your heels coming into it this way. And then you can start pressing into the back edge of that back foot and looking to bring this front knee over the heel. Lift your arms up here. Arms are parallel, so have a look back. Is that back arm a little bit sleepy? So Dancing Warrior, we keep bending into this front knee. So we're really only moving from the hip crease up. So we're just moving that top body, and the bottom body stays quite stable and steady. Breathe in and out to come into an Exalted Warrior. So we're sliding the back arm down the back leg, maybe lifting the gaze to look up to that left hand. Inhale. Exhale, Warrior 2. Breathe in and out for an extended side angle. So light weight on that left arm on the left thigh and your right bicep to the ear. Breathe in and out to come back to Warrior 2. Inhale. Exhale to exalt your warrior. Bend into that front knee. This is a side bend actually, so we're just sliding down that back leg, keeping that front knee bent. Breathing in and out, flowing here to Warrior 2. Breathe in and out, flowing forward into our extended side angle. Nice light weight on that front thigh. Inhale to come back to Warrior 2. Leave your arms up. Straighten that front knee now. Bump out that back hip. So we're just moving, flowing with those hips. Extend your spine as long as you can, and then hinge at that front hip crease to come into your triangle pose. We're twisting again, 3-part twist through this lower belly, rib cage, shoulders go last. Your hand can stay on that front leg, or you can grab your block for a little bit more steadiness. There's 3 sides to that block. It just helps bring the mat up more towards your hand, so you don't have to maybe hinge as far. Couple of breaths here. And then your next breath in, let's bend into this front knee and make our way back up to that neutral spine. Pivot on those toes back to the long edge. And then the same thing on the right side. So pivoting on the right toes, bending into that right knee, heels are somewhat lined up. You're pressing into the back edge of that back foot, and you're bending into this front knee. We're going to stay bending into this front knee for our 2 rounds of Dancing Warrior. Arms come up parallel. Lift up through that pelvic floor as you breathe in and out to exalt your warrior. Sliding that back arm down the back leg, front knee stays bent. Inhale with your breath to Warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle. Light weight on that front thigh, bicep to the ear. Inhaling back up, Warrior 2. Exhale to exalt your warrior, sliding the back arm down that back leg. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale here to extend your side angle. Use your breath to inhale back up to Warrior 2. Leave your arms up, straighten that front knee now, bump out that back hip, so it's just a little hip swiggle. Extend your spine as far as you can forward, and then hinge to come into this 3-part twist again through this lower belly, through the rib cage, shoulders go last. Grabbing that block if you want a little bit more stability for your hand, or you can leave your hand on your leg. Couple of breaths here. Keep that connection with the breath and the posture. Next breath in, let's bend into this front knee. Pivot on those feet back to the long edge of your mat and heel toe your feet together for another little hip swiggle. All right, as promised, we're going to head on down to the mat here for a child's pose. So you can bring your block with you to support your forehead. And again, yogi's choice, either that block is under your forehead to support, or you're stacking your fists. Knees can be together or knees separated. Try to get those sit bones towards the heels. The other nice thing you can do is to use that block to sit on if your hips are up quite high, and then just stack your forearms or stack your fists. We want to bring our attention to the back side of our body, to that breath, that long oval shape, smooth edges, and again thinking about our 3-part breath of our upper chest, our rib cage, and that lower belly. Long breaths in and out through your nose. Let's take about 4 more full rounds of breath here. And if your arms are not already overhead, if you can take your arms up overhead, 10th of fingers, and then walk your hands over here to the right side of your mat, pressing that left sit bone down to the heel. Lowering that forehead down towards the mat. Breathing through that whole side body. So this is another great example of how we can use our breath to help guide our body. So we want that sit bone to the heel so that we can get into the hip flexors. And visualize creating space through those ribs, giving our heart and lungs more room to do their jobs. Next breath in, 10th those fingers again. On your exhale, walk your hands now over to the left side, lowering the ear down to the bicep. Maybe you can even get your forehead to the mat. Use your breath here to push that right sit bone to the right heel, getting into the hip flexors, rib cage. Maybe you're even feeling this into the armpit. Directing your breath to any tight spots so they relax, release. And your next breath in, you can lift up that forehead and come back to center. And then make your way up, and we'll swing our legs around to come onto our butt. Taking those legs out in front, you can give them a little bounce, a little windshield wiper move if you like. And then let's take our legs wide, bringing this right foot to the inside of that left thigh. When you're ready, we'll breathe in and out, sliding that arm down the long leg. Hand can stay onto that right hip or can come up and over into this C shape. So again, we want to use our breath here and be mindful of pushing that hip down, creating that space through the ribs, maybe feeling this in our armpit. And we're going to flow with this as well. We'll do 3 rounds. So your next breath in, we'll exhale, come back to neutral, plant that right hand by the right hip, press into the hand and push yourself up onto this right knee. Left arm goes long, and we're getting this nice long stretch through the left side of our body. Breathe in and out to release those hips to the mat. Sliding that arm down the long leg, hand onto the hip, or arm up and over for round number 2. Use your breath as you breathe in and out to come back to neutral. Plant that hand by the hip. Inhale. Exhale, push yourself up onto that right knee. Left arm comes up and over for that big side stretch. End of your breath. Exhale, release those hips. Round number 3. Slide that arm down the long leg, hand into the hip or up and over. Breathe in and out to come to a neutral spine. Plant that hand. Inhaling. Exhale, come into this big side bend through that left side of the body. End of your breath. Inhale. Exhale to release. Let's take both those legs out in front again. Give them a little bounce. And then same thing on the other side. Wide leg. Left foot to the inside of that right thigh. Use your breath here to slide that arm down that long leg, hand onto the hip or up and over as we press that hip down into the mat, creating space through those ribs, feeling the stretch wherever you might be in your body. No 2 bodies are ever the same, so I can tell you where I feel it, but you might think you're doing it wrong if you're not feeling it the same spot, and we don't want that. Next breath in. Exhale, come back to neutral. Plant that left hand by your left hip as you inhale. Exhale, push yourself up onto that left knee. Arm comes up and over for that big stretch. End of your breath, you'll inhale again. Exhale to release your hips. Slide that arm down the leg. Hand onto the hip or up and over for round number 2. Connecting with your breath here as you breathe in and out to plant that hand. Inhale. Exhale for this big side bend through that right side of the body. End of your breath, you'll inhale. Exhale to release. 3rd round, arm down that long leg. Hand on the hip or up and over. Next breath in. Exhale, hand to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, up onto that knee and up and over. End of your breath, you'll inhale and exhale to release. Take those legs out in front and give those legs a little bounce. All right, grab your block and bring it with you as we make our way down onto the mat. So coming back to where we started. So the knees can be bent, legs can be long. We'll just take a couple of breaths here again to connect, finding that 3-part breath with the smooth edges. checking in, maybe noticing anything that's shifted for you in the practice already. And then grab your block, bend the knees, soles of the feet to the mat, press into the feet, lift up your hips, and slide your block in underneath your sacrum at that lowest setting. So we want this nice wide base to give us as much stability as possible. And then lift those both legs up to the sky so it looks like you're standing on the ceiling. So we're going to use our breath here again to lower our heels down to the mat. So the more straight your knees are, the more it's going to affect your back. So if you have a bad back, then please feel free to bend your knees here. So we'll leave the left foot where it's at. We'll breathe in. On our exhale, we'll make this move of lowering that right heel down towards the mat. Again, it might touch, it might not. End your breath. You'll inhale to lift that leg up. Exhale to lower that heel down to the mat. I'm going to do 5 in total. End your breath, inhale up. Long breath down to exhale, lower the heel for round number 3. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Use your breath. Slower you go, the harder it is. Last round here as we inhale up and long breath out to lower. Inhale up one more time before we do the other side. If you need to adjust your block, go ahead and do that. And then again, the right foot stays where it's at as we breathe in. Long breath out to lower that heel. Maybe it touches, maybe not. End your breath. You're inhaling up, exhaling down. So really connecting with the breath here. Inhaling up, exhaling down for round number 3. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Last round as we breathe in to lift and long breath out to lower. Lift that leg up one more time. Bend those knees, soles of the feet to the mat. Lift up your hips, slide that block out, lower the hips, and then lift up the legs, wrap the arms around the shins. And just roll here from side to side again, feeling that belly breath on your thighs. Always the option to lift the shoulders, nose to the knees to make that really nice tight ball. Pinching the breath off a little bit, but squeezing those organs to get some fresh blood in there. All right, let's come to center here and enter into our final posture of the practice, our Shavasana. So you can take your legs long and wide, knees can be bent of course, you can even come into a seated position if you wish. But coming here as we end our practice, connecting with our breath here again. Breathing in and out through the nose, noticing that breath in the upper chest, through the rib cage and that lower belly. Making that long oval shape to your breath with the smooth edges. And again, it might feel a little bit forced to go as low as that lower belly, but with time you'll find the ease with that. So just continue to breathe in that upper chest, maybe visualizing that rib cage opening and closing like an accordion. Visualizing that balloon inflating and deflating in that lower belly. And feeling free to stay here as long as you like. Just connecting with that breath. And through time, you'll find that with each breath in and each breath out, that maybe you can let go of any tightness you're holding into your body so that your body can get heavier and heavier on the mat. And staying with the breath allows us to stay in this present moment. So again, staying here as long as you like. Breathing in and out. long breaths. Trying to keep the mind with the body here. So again, please stay here as long as you like. I'm going to sign off by thanking you for sharing your practice. Hands to my heart center. Namaste.